thoughts go and come. As you would have heard, that world is full of nice people. If you can't find one, be one. This is a very strong statement where your core beliefs are challenged. When we dislike someone or a situation, we forget to think rational. Our mind has a strong tendency to think negative as it is the innate surviving techniques of the human beings to excuse their own deeds, and the best way of doing it is to believe in being victimized. Let's understand with an example how thoughts work and what can we do to make it in our favor. As Janina makes her way to work in the morning, she looks at the sunflower and the thought pops up about how about having baked sunflower seeds with evening tea. Then the next second, she thinks about the car vacuum cleaner she needs to buy. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, the next thought pops up into her head that if the train are delayed again due to signal failure, I will miss the meeting. My manager will be very annoyed with me. Everybody in office will think I am irresponsible. He will ask someone else to handle the client. They will try to force me out of the job. No one in the office is really in my favor. All people talk behind my back and conspire about me, etc., etc., and etc. Doesn't it sound like a movie? Well, that's what we all do. Construct mini movies in our head, which has nothing to do with the reality, and in return feel miserable about the rest of the day and sometimes more. Just imagine if Janina would have been aware of her thoughts and she could have had the next thought after, if the trains are delayed, something like, I will get some chocolate pastry for dinner tonight. The negative spiral of thoughts could have been nipped in the bud itself, rather than taking over her and making her feel a lot more miserable. These two thoughts are not at all linked, and that is what you need to do. Whenever there is a negative thinking or thoughts are loading in, just think anything which is completely different and just stop that thought there. We do not have much control over the content of the thoughts. They just come and go as our senses pick up information through our consciousness. But we have complete control on how we assess our thoughts. We have to understand to take them for what the thoughts are. That is, thoughts, not reality. So the key is to actually watch your thinking rather than getting caught up in the vortex of continuous thoughts that go on and on and on, making you feel bad about a situation or your life in general. Recognize that your thoughts are not real. They are imaginary. They were conceived by you, and thoughts, whether positive or negative, gain momentum only through your energy. The point about your thinking is that once a thought pops into your head and you have observed it, you can then take control and do something about it. Stopping negative thoughts in time is the way you gain control. Just a reminder again, you control your mind. Your mind doesn't control you. Yet, sadly, the later is the way that it is for majority of the people. But the good news is you can break out of this trap as you gradually change those stubborn thinking habits of yours. When you realize that you are able to step back and be critical about what you are thinking, this gives you immense power over your mind. You can choose not to think in a destructive or negative way. It is you who are doing the thinking, so it is you who are responsible for changing your thinking. It's completely in your hand. Yes, it is. Put a barrier to your thoughts. Because you have had a lifetime of dealing with thoughts that come in and out of your head every day, you probably have never considered that you are constantly receiving and tossing aside thousands of these thoughts almost unconsciously. Many people I speak to are a little confused as to how you can prevent thoughts coming into your head in the first place. But as I mentioned earlier, the emergence and content of thought is something that just happens, and there is just not much we can do about that. What you can do something about is how you treat the thoughts you have had. Your control over your thoughts happens after it's actually been formulated. There is no question that when we think negatively, the hurt or bitterness or pain or suffering or worry or anxiety or guilt, all powerful emotions is felt. We suffer rather than the other person or the situation. If you analyze this, then of course you will understand that if it's something that you are doing, then the control lies with you only. It's only your awareness that will let you know which thoughts need to be acted on and which should be rejected and thrown out of the window. So let's take charge of your thoughts and in return your happiness and success for life. You are the in charge of your happiness, so create it for yourself. You are the creator of your success, so create it for yourself. You deserve it. You're worth it.